Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. So there have been a whole bunch of Q posts today. Today is 6/11. Today is the big day. So right now, it's about 45 minutes ago, Trump started talking to Kim Jong-un. It's like a huge deal, man. I don't know why the media is not making a big deal out of it. It's gigantic. So the earliest Q post talked about North Korea, and it talked about kicking out the CIA black state and then kind of restoring Korea a little bit. And now the Korean dictator has removed a bunch of his generals, and he says he's going to disarm himself, and it looks like it's been a done deal for the last 6 months. It's just this is the formal presentation of it. So that's interesting if true. So the Q post did just call out Rosenstein. It said Rosenstein, fly Rosenstein, fly. And I didn't know this, but he is in Canada right now, in Montreal, talking about globalism. Rod Rosenstein on Monday called for global governments to, quote, work together on law enforcement at a time when an escalating trade rift is pitting the United States against Canada and a number of Washington's other close trade partners. Working together is not always easy. There may be legal and practical barriers to cooperation, he said. But strong leadership is not about avoiding problems. It is about embracing challenges and overcoming obstacles. Okay, so this is the last post that was talking about it. It says, where is Rod Rosenstein? What country specifically? He's in Montreal. Why? Looks like he's trying to beg for help. The death symbol. Asked about the letter, however, a DOJ official said Rosenstein is currently representing the United States in a brief, unrelated visit to a foreign nation, one of America's key intelligence partners, indicating he would plan on responding during the previously scheduled briefing on Thursday. Gives a link to a Fox News article talking about the DOJ and Grassley interviewing Flynn. And I read that document, so you can go figure out everything that's in there. You don't have to listen to Fox News. Find it yourself. This statement should ring alarms. Okay, so it's panic. So I'm going to clean up a conversation here in a minute, because I propagated this June 11th date as a Julian Assange deal, and I resurrected that Back Channel 17 Twitter account because I was really late to the game. I just never really paid attention to it until the end, and the end was really convincing. So the dates landed exactly where we needed to anyway, and the deal, why I don't think it was that damaging to the conversation, was because 3 weeks ago, everybody was wanting to jump ship right after that trip code reveal. Once the trip code was revealed on that post that says now comes the pain in 23, once that thing was revealed, okay, everybody blamed Pamphlet for doing it, and then they tried to deflect and say the CTBS people were responsible for Q and the entire thing was a fake. All of it. And you know who those people are. Isaac Green, InfoWars, Jerome Corsi. Is Tracy Bean still part of the conversation? I don't know. Unirock said that. 0 Hour One guy did. And then they all linked up to InfoWars, and InfoWars used their message to spread it. And that's what happened just now in the Arizona stuff too. So, yeah, I resurrected the back channel site. It looks like it's fake. I'm going to talk about Neon Revolt here in a second because he was on the right side of that, and I had a conversation with him, and that's why there's not a Neon Revolt video on my channel anymore. All right, so with that back story, here's post 1460. And someone's saying, look, 6/11's almost over. There's no booms, no Julian Assange, no arrests. Yes, LARP, like Q's a LARP. So they're trying to get back into the fake stuff, but we're past that at this point. Q's real. I mean, here it is. It did happen. You know, North Korea is today, June 11th, which is funny because in Singapore, it's the 12th. And that's what this post is talking about. So this was one of the theories that was put forth, I guess, on the Chans. I kind of came up with it on my own after I saw everybody turn, and I'll show you the timeline of what I put out so that I can show that to you. Okay, so they said, look, the 11th, everything I just said. And I said, and then Q says, look, the past statement was directed at confirmation statements, not assumptions. Plus Julian Assange was thrown in. It says that these are spread to discredit, knowing it will not materialize. Also, good decoding. So we were right about everything that happened. The trip code reveal, here comes the pain, plus 23, put us on the 11th. And right now, as I'm speaking, the North Korea talk is happening in the open. Okay, you understand that? People say this stuff happened 6 months ago, but no one knows that. The world doesn't know that. Geopolitics has continued on, as far as we can tell, in the open, as if North Korea is still never going to come over to our side and be our friends. And that's not true because it's happening right now. And the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about it. They're in a panic. They'll try. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest political feats probably in the last 100 years. Right now, as I'm speaking, it's happening. Okay? That's how big of a deal it is. It's a way bigger deal than Julian Assange. I can tell you that. I mean, we're hearing, I'm reading like hero talk. We'll see this here in a second. Look. This guy's a hero. And I agree, man, but let's not overthink this thing. What he did was release some information, and he gave people a way to become whistleblowers. That's what he did. He's paid the price for it. He gets all the credit in the world. Okay, but these are real results. North Korea is openly saying now we're not going to be isolated. We're going to give up. We're not going to be a threat to you anymore. Come on in, let's create a middle class. Huge. That's real world. So this is when people are going to latch onto this. And this is going to be the conversation over the next week, I can just tell. So let's just neutralize it right now because I am personally responsible for this happening. It doesn't matter if Julian Assange shows his face or not. I personally think it may happen in the next week or so. I don't care if it does or not. I don't care if it doesn't happen in the next 5 years. Julian Assange doesn't matter. Julian Assange is not the U.S. government. He's not North Korean dictatorship. Okay? So we are having a huge moment, and you need to realize that's what this moment is about. It's what it was supposed to be about. And anything that's been thrown in there different is to detract from the power of the QAnon message. So nobody was clear about this. No one just said, North Korea on the 11th. I came along after everybody was abandoning ship and made some videos trying to put this whole thing together to show people, look, these people are working to discredit what we're up to. They're trying to take the wind out of our sails. So this is the backup play is what I'm trying to tell you. The backup play is to present something, get people to bite on it, and then hope that it doesn't happen. But I can tell you this. The back channel 17 stuff was called out in the QAnon post as fake. I put together a different take on that where I said maybe it's still real. Maybe it is. And I'll show you that video here in a second. But that's not what Q said. Q said it's fake. So if I ever say anything that's in great disregard for QAnon posts in the future, I deserve all the criticism that I get, I guess. But I had a good thing, and here's what I think it did. I think it resurrected the conversation. It kept people from jumping ship because, it gave people some interest. Okay. So that all happened. And then this post says, what else might 23 refer to? I don't have enough time to go into that, so I'll do some more research. Okay, but yesterday on the 10th, they brought up this, and it said, this is on post 1443. It's where they use Fly Roth's fly, and it says FBI agents willing to testify plus 24. So maybe they had T minus 23. That had a double meaning. Okay, and now they got that extra person, that one FBI agent they really needed. They flipped him. I noticed, what's his name's not talking. I think McCabe, whatever had happened to him, he was trying to gain uh, immunity, right? Did he get it? Could be something, could be nothing. I don't know. But then people brought up him. They retweeted it. So what they said was it's back in the news, has to do with the lawsuit, and the server brings down the White House. Or sorry, the server brings down the House. Don't let me put words in your mouth here. And then more Seth Rich stuff. So, moving on. I'm going to show you the backstory about how this happened so I can clean up the conversation and we can move forward without any dead weight. Okay, now some of this story is buried in this video right here, and I can't show it to you because someone issued something. I don't know. They issued something to YouTube, and YouTube took the video down. I have appealed it, so hopefully we can see it again, but some of what I want to tell you is in this. Okay, now first of all, shout out to Neon Revolt, okay, because that guy stuck to his guns on this Back Channel 17 page and was like, no, if it's not in the Q post, it's not legit. So, I think that Neon Revolt is probably one of the leading, most trustworthy sources at this point, based on this interaction. I know nothing more than that, but, we got into a conversation. He corrected a minor mistake that still didn't have an impact on his position. Okay? So, I think that's the most honest investigator that I've had a conversation with so far. So I think Neon Revolt is probably a great place to get some information. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't verify and do your own homework. Okay, so that said, I resurrected this thing because the end was really convincing. All right, super convincing. And I wasn't really part of the first head of the conversation because I wasn't ever really interested in... I wasn't using Twitter very much at the time. Okay, I didn't ever go over here. Okay, so I resurrected it. And then it moved the conversation forward a little bit. It linked to the stuff, the videos from Julian Assange. And down here, check this out. Let me find it. Right there. Okay, so look into I the Spy from Doug Freshness. Now, I said, hey, thanks for the heads up. And then, a few days later, I was like, yeah, we need to talk. Right? So I can show you more about this. I've already documented this in other videos showing you exactly what to do, where I got to on this, but that's what happened. So I think here's what happened. I resurrected this. They saw it happen. They knew that I had some kind of, I got a little bit of street cred here, and I think they piggybacked me. And then I made 2 videos. So then whenever I saw the monster I had created, I was like, okay, we got to end this thing. And I asked other people to do it. Some people helped, some people didn't. Some people are still reporting on it. But that's how it happened. You can go view my other work so you can see just exactly how it happened. It's kind of embarrassing at this point, So I just want to be honest about this. That's where it came from. Okay? I the Spy's fake. They piggybacked me. They used my goodwill to push that thing out. And then look, I was stupid enough to make 2 more videos about it before I tried to correct my problem. So, there it is. Okay, moving on. All right, so I got involved in QAnon early because no one else was doing it. And Dustin Nemos was around, and so was Isaac Green. And those are kind of like the main 3. And I think Stroppy Me was reading the post. So I started covering them because I was in the Mueller investigation stuff, and then that stuff popped up and it started tying into it. And then here we got to. So by the time we hit April, I was kind of done with it. I didn't want to do it much more. I was losing some interest, and there was a lot of other people covering it, so it felt like, the job was being handled. I don't take donations. So there was this gap, where I stepped off for a month, and then during that time, I didn't publish these videos, by the way, so I will if you want me to. During that time, that stuff all happened, where everybody wanted to jump ship. So this was like right after the trip code reveal, and then, I try to explain to people, look, this is exactly what just happened. Go back to what you were talking about. And, all heck kind of broke loose then. Okay, so here's like the timeline of everything, how it all worked out. So I did as much as I could to flesh it out. I think I've done a pretty good job. I've made some mistakes. Looks like I misread that back channel thing, but that's what happened, man. Till next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.